Welcome to the Fantasy Football Fanatics podcast with your hosts Griffin Palmer, CJ Hickman, Jason Cabrera, and Ryan Mitchell.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is Tuesday, June 6th. This is the Fantasy Football Fanatics podcast. I want to welcome everybody in. Got a lot of new listeners. We've been seeing a spike in the viewership. We want to welcome everybody in. I'm your host, Griffin Palmer, joined by my co-analysts, CJ the Hitman Hickman and Jason Cabrera. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Come on, Griffin.
Not too much, guys. Exciting show. We're finally through the rankings, at least the initial rankings. We're going to get into, of course, more waiver wire guys on the member show. We're going to get into some IDP rankings on the member show. So a lot more good stuff down the line. But we get to take a break from it for a change, switch directions, get to something that is always requested. I don't know why, but after every single show, people are always like, when's the next mock draft? Like, we just did one. Give us a minute. We got stuff to talk about, guys. But, again,
we're going to get that after this show, too. You know that, right?
We will.
When's the next mock draft? One.
I guarantee you that this show, it's going to post today, and I will have questions through email, through Twitter, through the website, whatever the case may be. All right, that was awesome. Now, when's the next one? They'll want a different format. So, we'll get there. Don't worry. It's a long off season, guys. So anyway, as we've already mentioned, we do have an amazing show for you guys today, including a mock draft. Hey, consensus style, which of course seems to be everyone's favorite. That we asked at the end of last show what everybody wanted to see, and they all said we want consensus mock, and it was very split. We got a lot of people who wanted standard, a lot of people who wanted PPR, a lot of half point. We got some auction, we got some IDP. So we decided to kind of split the difference here. We've done a lot of standard to this point. We haven't done a PPR draft yet this offseason, so we're going to do a full point PPR mock draft. And we're going to do standard format, though we're definitely getting some auction soon. I can't wait to get to auction. I really can't wait to get to IDP because that's stuff that we love here. More advanced stuff, so we'll have some shows before we start doing that to kind of affiliate you guys with it, kind of not everybody. We realize, in fact, the majority of people out there have never done IDP, have never done auctions. So we'll do shows to orient you with all that before we get into it. But our goal is maybe in the long run to get you guys on that bandwagon. Because if you were in our listener league last year, it was overwhelming. All but one person who actually won decided to do auction, and none of them had ever done it before. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely our preferred format. I can't talk already. We're off to a bad start.
All right. That's talking for you.
Yeah, I know, right? So, as always, please make sure you guys do subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We are all over the web. Just search for The Fantasy Football Fanatics, and you will generally find us. And on Twitter, it's simply @TheFFFanatics. Easiest way to get a hold of us. Follow us, get up-to-date news. Of course, some breaking news happened right after the show posted on Friday, which we're going to get into in the news, and some stuff that we talked about quite a bit there. And, obviously, we'll talk about more now that we're in the show. Most importantly of all, if you guys really want to support the show, help us keep all these lights on, help us keep doing what we're doing here, because believe it or not, it's not free to run a podcast, unfortunately, because that would make life a lot easier. Simply head over to patreon.com/thefantasyfootballfanatics. Even the lowest level of contribution, although no matter what you do, is greatly appreciated. It will get you a lot of cool bonus perks, including a bonus and generally much more advanced, as we kind of mentioned earlier on, the topics we're going to be talking about over there, show every single week. So we're going to start with the warm-up today, which is simply something we teased at the end of last week's show, and now we're going to kind of talk about a little bit more in depth, which is we are announcing our Listener League for the 2017 season, and we're doing this through an iTunes review challenge. So last year, we just kind of let you go all over the web, whatever your preferred thing was to submit. Well, now we're trying to focus it in one spot so it's easier to follow and everybody can see all the submissions. So if you want to join us for the 2017 Listener League, all you have to do is subscribe on iTunes, give us a rating, give us a review, and then at the end of the review, just leave us an email or a Twitter or something where we can reach you if you win, if you're selected. And, it doesn't have to be a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate it, though. Helps the show out more than you will ever know, moving up those boards, especially as we're getting closer to draft season, more and more people starting to look for information. If you do want to go the extra mile, you can send us a private message or an email or something after you do rate the show, and you can tell us what your preferred format for the league will be, and we're going to be definitely asking you that if you win. And just as for instance, last year, we left it wide open. We kind of talked about it before. It was an auction-style draft, which was perfect for us. We love that. It was a 12-team league, which is something that we're going to try and continue with this year, because that's just the preferred standard format. At least size of league. We're going to be doing what we did last year was 6 points per passing touchdown, which to us is standard as well, and half-point PPR, which to us is standard as well. So to us, this worked out perfectly. But if you guys want to see something different, if you want to do IDP, yes, please. Yes, please. Just let us know. And again, that can be thefantasyfootballfanatics@gmail.com. We're going to have one of these days I'll stop being lazy. We've only had the website for how long, and I haven't set up the website emails. We'll get to that. Of course, you can also submit them at the FF Fanatics. So with that, let's move into our top headlines from around the league. Now, as always, this is the dark ages, as we call it. This is the really dead period of the offseason. News is very slow coming, even with OTAs. It's a lot of misdirection, a lot of beat writers and newspaper publications that you've never heard of before trying to give input and hot takes, stuff like that. So we could talk about news and headlines for the entirety of the show, but the reality is almost none of it is real. It's almost all fluff. So we're going to start with, of course, the NFL Top 100, which did air last night. Numbers 40 through 31 were revealed, so we'll go through these guys really quick, as we do every single week. Number 40, we had Vic Beasley, linebacker for Atlanta. He was unrated just a year ago. Number 39, Bobby Wagner, linebacker for Seattle. He was also shockingly unrated a year ago. I didn't realize that. That is a slap in the face. Number 38, Fletcher Cox, defensive tackle for Philadelphia. He was 49 a year ago, so he moved up a bit there. 37, Aqib Talib, cornerback for the Denver Broncos. He moved down a few spots from 34 a year ago. Number 36, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver / crazy hybrid player from Kansas City. Of course, unrated a year ago. Number 35, the injured for almost the entirety of the year, J.J. Watt, defensive end for Houston. He moved down from 3 a year ago, so a big drop there, but it's to be expected. Honestly, kind of surprised he was as high as he was. Number 34, Cam Chancellor, safety for Seattle. He moved down 2 spots from 32 a year ago. 33 was DeMarco Murray, running back for Tennessee, who was unrated a year ago. Of course, that was coming off of his down year in Philadelphia. Number 32, Marcus Peters, cornerback from Kansas City. He moved up from 65 a year ago. And 31, Matthew Stafford, quarterback from the Detroit Lions. He was also unrated yet another year ago. And here we are, higher in the list, and still half of the people listed were not rated. So this is a crazy fluctuation. I don't remember it ever being this diverse in years past. So guys, what's some hot takes from you really fast from this list?
Well, Vic Beasley, man, he silenced the critics. Didn't have a really good rookie season. He came back, just dominating that in Atlanta's defense. I really like that. Fletcher Cox, my boy, he had a down year this year, not as good as it was from last year. Maybe, people just looking at the supporting cast that he has now that, that his numbers could go back up and he can, either match this or go even higher. And I like that.
I mean, he's still improved on the list, so that's good.
You said what?
I said he still improved on the list, though, so, I mean, people obviously took note. That's good for him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it is. Tyreek Hill, that's my man. And, when we get to the news later on, he's a guy that's about to go even higher in people's draft boards, man. So, Cam Chancellor, come on, man. That's just Mr. Man back there, the hammer back there. You just know that he's going to lay in that hit and that wood. And then my favorite player from this list so far, man, is Marcus Peters. That dude is one of the top shutdown corners in the league. I love his ball skills. I love the press man that he has, man. He goes against the top wide receivers in the game, and he makes them look like they're number 2 or 3 receivers, man. I love it. That dude, that's my man, Marcus Peters.
Jason?
Yeah, Aqib Talib is, again, just like what CD was talking about Peters. He's just one of those corners that just does work. I mean, he's a tough corner. I'm not a big fan of his just because a lot of the shenanigans, poking people in the eye and whatnot. But you can't deny the talent. The dude has got the talent, and he deserves to be on the list. Already mentioned CJ. Already mentioned Tyreek Hill. Love me some Tyreek Hill. The guy is awesome. As we mentioned, his stock is just rising right now. So good to see him on here in his second year. Matthew Stafford, unrated last year. I mean, wow, that's a little shocking to me. But seeing him on here this high, that's nice to see him. He's a great quarterback. So we'll see what happens this year. But overall, yeah, pretty good list. And I got to give a shout-out to Cam Chancellor. I hate Cam Chancellor for all the right reasons because he plays my Arizona Cardinals twice a year. So, go away, Cam Chancellor, but congratulations.
A little salty there for sure. Oh, yeah. No, Vic, you guys basically said it all. Running down real fast, Vic Beasley. I mean, good to see him finally returning on draft stock that was invested in him, silencing the critics. Bobby Wagner, I mean, the leading tackler in the league by a good margin last year. I'm surprised he didn't finish higher on this list. That's almost criminal, and really shocked that he didn't make the list last year. I did not realize that when we were talking about that this time last year, so whoa. Fletcher Cox, CJ covered that pretty adequately. Aqib Talib, that's a guy who I really dislike, but respect the crap out of his game. He is a very good corner. Tyreek Hill, you guys said it all. You guys are both higher on him than I am, but I mean, his opportunity is now skyrocketing with news we're going to talk about soon. J.J. Watt is J.J. Watt. I mean, bottom line, this is the 2017 list, what they think he's going to do coming back from injury. Yeah, he could easily finish as 35th best player in the league. Cam Chancellor, amazing hard-hitting safety. DeMarco Murray, proving that when he's in a good north-south system, he's still a very good running back. Marcus Peters, one of the best ball-hawking corners, young corners in the league. And Matthew Stafford, one of the strongest arms in the league. They talk frequently about how he can make all the throws just through arm strength alone. So, good list. And it's starting to get really interesting as we get now above 31 from the top 30 guys that are left. So it's going to be fun to follow. Moving on to the rest of the news, we're just going to overview this as one big section really fast. In running back news, Eddie Lacy has resorted back to P90X to continue to drop weight. Some people are saying this is a last resort. Apparently, he might be struggling. Some people are saying that this is just he had great success with it last year, so that's what he's transitioning to because what he was doing isn't working. Either way, it's sad that this is news, but it is. Now, this bit of news and wide receiver news is easily the top headline since we recorded last, and that is that Jeremy Maclin has been released by the Kansas City Chiefs, their number one wide receiver. Guys, talk to me about Jeremy Maclin, now free agent late in the game.
It's tough, man. This is a news that I did not see coming. I mean, even when we were talking about, our last show, we was talking about the tight ends and, talking about Travis Kelce and that offense, who's the offense flowing through. You see Jeremy Maclin, he was partially injured last season, so now he's coming into this season. And off the break, I'm already thinking about him, Tyreek Hill, now Travis Kelce there. I thought they drafted another receiver, or even they're just trying to use Anthony Thomas more. So just to see him released is shocking. I mean, it's a good business move because I know they saved over 10 million cap hit, but it's definitely shocking, and I really did not see this coming.
I thought it was $5 million, but either way, it's a good business move for them. But they lose a very talented wide receiver. The interesting twist here is that this might be good for Jeremy Maclin. I mean, this is not a high volume passing offense in Kansas City by any stretch of the imagination. So if he goes somewhere that has a quarterback that can get the ball down the field to him, this actually might make his stock shoot through the roof. So I'm going to be very interested to see where he ends up. And I've heard a lot of different people talking about a lot of different landing spots. Your Baltimore Ravens has come up several times. Griffin, my Cardinals have come up a couple times. I doubt that very, very much. But the Bills, we're hearing about the Bills and LaShawn McCoy trying to get him to come over, join him over there in Buffalo. So, he could fit in a lot of different places.
Yep, seems to be campaigning from what I've heard. It was a $4 to $5 million cap hit. I can't find it currently in front of me, but right. Not cap hit, but what they saved. The cap hit itself was higher. I tweeted it out, but I can't actually find the stat right now because some of the websites have refreshed, and now that he's a free agent, you have to dive into all the little sub areas to find his old contracts. And I don't want to delay the show, but yes, they saved money, not a ton. This was something that they were hinting at probably trying to do earlier in the offseason, but then as he made it into OTAs, everyone kind of assumed he was safe and they were going to keep him. Plus, I mean, he's definitely was the number one receiver there, but this is one of those post-June 1st cuts, which, affects the way it hits against the cap for the new calendar year. So, definitely a shocking news, something that none of us have heard news of. I've been looking around the industry, talking to other people. No one saw this coming, really. So not even the beat writers were reporting this was something that was even imminent. So shocking move. It'll be very interesting to see where he lands. Definitely one of the higher tiered prospects. If he had been a free agent earlier in the season, we would have been talking about him and between probably him and Alshon Jeffrey. I think everybody would have still said Alshon Jeffrey was the top wide receiver, but I mean he would have been in the conversation as the top wide receiver available. So
he probably would have been right under him.
Yeah,
I mean, because you look at the rest of the team, you had what Pryor, then it was Torrey Smith, and then et cetera, et cetera. So I think he probably would have been right under Alshon.
Yeah, and I mean Jeremy Maclin, obviously his best year was his 1 year as the number one receiver under Chip Kelly in Philadelphia. He hasn't really lived up to that one magical year, but he's still a very talented wide receiver, and the talent he would have been around. Obviously Terrell Pryor 1 year as a wide receiver, that's hard to really weigh on and judge. So I have to figure he'd be rated right around him, maybe a bit ahead of him, but I couldn't see him being rated above Alshon Jeffrey in most people's free agency boards. Just speculation, but again, moving on. This news I had to add just because it makes me mad. The Tampa Bay Times are reporting that one pass catcher who has, quote, consistently made the most plays, end quote, during OTAs is third-round rookie wide receiver Chris Godwin. And that just makes me mad because I was campaigning for this guy. I've been saying that this was my fourth favorite, maybe at some points even my third favorite rookie wide receiver, and here he is impressing on a team with some serious wide receiver talent. And I'm just mad because I wish my Ravens had taken him.
You got to call the Ravens, man. I mean, you got that clout. You got to call them, man.
I should have called Ozzy and told him to make the move happen, but I didn't.
Ozzy, what are you doing, man?
Ozzy.
Hey, in Ozzy we trust, and maybe I like what we got.
Tricked him. But I tricked him and said that Chris Godwin was from Alabama.
Man, he would have drafted him first round.
Immediately.
Yeah. Alabama.
Last bit of news. Do I have to talk about this one?
Oh man, come on, man.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Sound off the injured rate.
Man, I tell you what, you guys are having Baltimore's having a rough season already.
Yes. Baltimore's starting tight end Dennis Pitta re-injured his hip for the third time in 4 years. It's yet to be confirmed whether it was fractured or dislocated. He went down after diving for a catch, was not able to put weight on it, and by all accounts of it, it is either fractured or dislocated, which is the expectation at this point. That was his previous injury the last two times. His career will most likely be over. So this is Joe Flacco's safety blanket, his longest tenured pass catching option in the offense. This is a huge blow to, we just lost a starting corner, and now we lost our starting tight end. 2017.
Rough.
I already hate you.
We'll make sure to give you guys a Vikings funeral.
He needs something. So this was sad, and I didn't want to report on it, but of course we have to because we're here to give you guys the news. We don't want anyone going out drafting Dennis Pitta, so don't do it. So
Gary Barnage, huh?
Unless you're Eric or Harrison.
We have Max Williams. We have Benjamin Watson. We've got about three other lesser known.
You do have Benjamin Watson, don't you?
Yep. Yeah, he got injured in the preseason last year. Hey, he claimed he didn't do it.
He did it.
He probably did. And for those of you who remember,
he dropped the dime.
Yeah. For all of those remember from last year, the Ravens, and this is probably why these injuries are happening, were infamous for having as close to, if not overly difficult practices for what are allowed under the current CBA. And somebody snitched last year, and we got penalized. So, for practicing, come on.
What you get.
Apparently, that is what you get. So with that, we're going to move on to our topic of the day, which is our early consensus PPR mock draft. Can we really say early at this point? We're in June. Maybe I should just say consensus PPR mock draft. I'm going to take that out right now as we're talking. So again, the way the consensus mock drafts work is that the three of us, with our very different strategies, try to work together to draft one team. Now, of course,
working word there is try to. Or the two words. Working two words is try to.
I mean, we'll get the job done in some way, shape, or form. It's gonna happen, but it's probably not gonna be very peaceful. Now, I'm gonna start recording the screen right now. So if you guys want to watch the draft, you can head to YouTube and watch the video, and the screen should be shared there, provided everything works out. This is what we did a lot last year. Everyone seemed to like it, so I'm recording right now. And if you can look, you can see CJ waving. Hi, CJ. We randomly generated the number 2 pick in the draft, so that's a good start. I like that. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into the draft. Now, if you're looking at the screen, what we're doing is a 12-team mock draft. This is going to be, again, we're number 2. This is full point PPR, because, again, we haven't done PPR yet, so we went all the way the other way. We'll probably do half point, a bunch of other stuff down the line, and we went with a completely standard format. So this is 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back, wide receiver flex, 1 kicker, 1 defense, 6 bench players. So we are going to get started, if I can remember how you start the draft. There we go. Start your mock draft. All right.
The button that says start.
Yes, and this is, of course, being done on Fantasy Pros, Fantasy Draft Wizard right now.
Right.
So, let's see. First player off the board, no surprise here,
No.
David Johnson. So,
Dang it.
I mean, are you honestly surprised, Jason? Like, even a
I
little
am
bit?
not at all surprised.
Um,
That's exactly what should have happened, but I'm still sad.
I agree. Now, I think the obvious choice is staring us right in the face right now, and running backs are a hot commodity. They're a much thinner position. And in PPR, obviously, the pass-catching backs, just like the high-volume wide receivers, get a huge bump. I don't think there's any way we can test not taking Le'Veon Bell at this point. Do we all agree?
If this was not a PPR, I would not necessarily fully agree, but given that it's PPR, yes, I completely agree.
And CJ, I assume you agree as well. So we're going to go ahead and draft ourselves Le'Veon Bell. So Le'Veon Bell is off the board on our team. Next one is Ezekiel Elliott, then Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr., Julio Jones, A.J. Green, Mike Evans, LaShawn McCoy, Melvin Gordon, Devontae Freeman, and Keenan Allen. Holy crap.
All right, Keenan, baby.
Yes.
Taking a comeback, baby.
I mean,
Thank you.
a high
Take him off the
volume
board.
guy, but that's only if he's...
Take him off the board.
I mean, yeah, they can take him. Only a high volume guy if he stays healthy. And, he was high volume when they didn't have about 6 other big pass catching weapons that they have now. So that's something. Start of the second round, DeMarco Murray, Jordy Nelson, Jay Ajayi, Michael Thomas, Jordan Howard, T.Y. Hilton, Dez Bryant, Rob Gronkowski, Amari Cooper, and DeAndre Hopkins all off the board. So here we are. We are sitting at the... 2 picks left. We're the 11th pick in the second round. I can't talk today, so let me hide the players who are taken.
Okay.
So, guys, who are we looking to take here? Do we want to take another pass-catching back, lock down that position because it's a short turnaround? Do you want to go ahead and jump on a wide receiver? What do you guys want to do?
Well,
Looking at some talent here. I think I like Doug Baldwin there, but probably can get him in the next round. With that full PPR. Makes it tough to pass on him. Then I'm
looking at rookies. There's Christian McCaffrey is sitting there, and he's undoubtedly going to get some passes.
Yeah, but we could get him later than this. If I was looking between Christian McCaffrey and any one of a number of wide receivers that we're looking at right now, I would happily take the wide receiver. Okay, well, let me run down that list. What we're looking at right now, of course, the full point PPR, so we want the pass-catching guys. The top running backs available are Todd Gurley, Lamar Miller, Leonard Fournette, Isaiah Crowell, Christian McCaffrey, Carlos Hyde. So a couple of those good PPR backs, but I'm not loving the second-round value on them. Wide receivers, we have Doug Baldwin, Demaryius Thomas, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, Devontae Adams are some of our top options right here at the end of the second round. So, for me, I'm trying to bring up our consensus rankings right now, and I'm doing it on a separate screen so everybody's not staring at all the different menus that I'm going to be using. But I believe our consensus next highest guy available is actually Allen Robinson right now, and he is going to get a lot of volume. He's a high target weapon. I'm not necessarily wild about the second round value on him, but looking at the rest of the guys available, he is the one guy who I know in a PPR format is really standing out the most to me. Doug Baldwin is a high volume guy as well, but he's not as heavily featured. He doesn't get a lot of as many touchdowns, and of course this is all assuming that Allen Robinson jumps back to the mean, which I know I'm expecting and our consensus rankings are showing. So that would probably be the way I'm leaning, though I'd rather get him probably in the third, so I could be swayed to go elsewhere because I'm sure he'll be there at our next pick. What do you guys want to do?
I'm not sure who you could take that might be better than Allen Robinson on this list, though, because I'm not sure about Demaryius Thomas with the quarterback play. Alshon Jeffrey, we really don't know. Doug Baldwin is more of a, I don't know. He doesn't get a ton of targets, And Brandon Cook, same thing. New face in new place. We don't know.
Oh, actually, I lied. Doug Baldwin is our highest consensus ranked guy right now.
I was gonna say I thought he would be, but not PPR necessarily though.
Well, our consensus rankings that we have currently published are for standard, but
Right.
Okay. I'll put it to you this way. Because I like these running backs, but I don't like them here in the second round per se. I wouldn't hate a couple of them, but I would rather get them maybe in the top of the third. We already have.
I agree with you. We can wait for that.
We already have a monster PPR back in Le'Veon Bell, so I think we take a wide receiver here, being a PPR league.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's put it this way: Allen Robinson or Doug Baldwin in a PPR. I'm still going to vote Robinson because he gives us similar volume to Doug Baldwin, but he gives us the big play potential. That's just the way I'm kind of looking at it. But I could easily say, let's take Doug here because we'll probably get him, and Allen might make it back to us with our next pick. We can maybe get both of them. What do you guys think?
CJ, what do you think?
I like quarterback situation. Quarterback situation a lot better in Seattle than was down in Jacksonville. So I'm going to go Baldwin.
Jason, what do you want to do?
If it was a regular standard scoring league, I'd agree with you, CJ, but I'm not sure. You know what? I'll take a chance that I don't think Robinson's going to make it to the next round, but I'll take a chance and say, okay, Doug Baldwin's fine with me.
I feel pretty comfortable because the team in front of us, there's only one team that's going to pick twice. Then we're back on the board. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and draft Doug Baldwin right now, and we're going to take him. He's on our team. The team then went Todd Gurley and Devontae Adams. Ooh, Devontae Adams and Todd Gurley. Neither one of those huge pass catching options. Obviously Devontae Adams, he's going to get touchdowns, but he's not a high volume receiver, at least not what we saw last year. So, all right, we are now sitting here, and Allen Robinson is still available. Do you guys want to pull the trigger like we talked about?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Running backs are hard to come by, but I think that we have the long run here, and this is PPR, so we got to get the good guys while we can. So I like it as well. Let's go ahead and get him. Allen Robinson is on our team. Leonard Fournette went next, then Brandon Cooks, Lamar Miller. Third round for Lamar Miller, I do like. He's going to get a lot of receptions in the PPR.
Dang it.
You guys saw that too. That was the guy I hadn't quite gotten to yet in what we were talking about, but I was really hoping would make it back to us. I was going to talk about that right now. Dang it. 2 picks ahead of us. All right, so Lamar Miller, Aaron Rodgers, C.J. Anderson, Demaryius Thomas, Alshon Jeffrey, Golden Tate, Marshawn Lynch, Christian McCaffrey at the end of the third. Top of the fourth, Larry Fitzgerald, Tom Brady, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, Carlos Hyde, Spencer Ware, Ty Montgomery, Joe Mixon, dang it, and Terrell Pryor. So, guys.
That would have been amazing. If we had gotten Joe Mixon and Le'Veon Bell on our team, we would have crushed it.
That's a sick backfield.
I would have been ecstatic, and that's what I was really hoping for. Dang it, team number 4. All right.
So question. I like the guy that we have highlighted up there. Because Jason's been talking him up. I'm starting to believe in the hype train going down in Cleveland. But if we do this, are we taking into consideration of the buys? Because both our running backs potentially will have the same buy.
I got to be honest with you. I don't really look at bye weeks very much because I know I'm going to be drafting a lot of depth so I can avoid bye week problems. And, if need be, I make a lot of trades. So it's not a huge deterrent for me. If I end up having like 6 or 7 guys with the same bye week, then I'm like, okay, maybe I use that as a tiebreaker, but I don't usually let that sway my opinion, me personally.
I usually try to keep from getting the same bye week across one position. That's the one thing I try to usually avoid. So I kind of agree with CJ, but at the same time, I don't think we can pass up on that because he is going to be the guy there, and the next 4 guys on the running back list, you don't know if they're going to be the top dog in their offense. In fact, I'd say the next 5, 6 guys, you don't know if they're going to be the top dog in their offense.
I would simply say Isaiah Crowell is definitely the best value here, and since he's the highest, I expect him to be gone, even though we're going to be picking again in 3 picks. Mark Ingram, no idea what's going to happen there. Bilal Powell, we're not exactly sure how it's going to play out, probably a committee. Amir Abdullah, actually, all accounts are he's going to be the starter there, and he'll probably get the high volume in the offense. But, we could probably get him in the 5th Tevin Coleman is going to be a backup and new offensive coordinator. We're not sure how he's going to use him. Danny Woodhead is going to be a gadget player. Not exactly sure what his exact role will be. Dalvin Cook is in a timeshare as well. Eddie Lacy, not a huge ball catcher, and the list goes on and on and on. So I think to lock up our running back position with guys that we really like, and Isaiah Crowell can catch the ball. He hasn't been asked to do it a ton in Cleveland, but I expect that to, they've made an investment in him. I could see, and he's proven to be a decent pass catcher in the past. He's got good hands. I'm okay with Isaiah Crowell right here because there's a whole list of wide receivers that I like, and we can get just any one of them with our next pick. So you guys want to lock down Isaiah Crowell?
Great offensive line too.
Yeah, lock him down.
All right, let's go ahead and lock down Isaiah Crowell right now. We've got our 2 starting running backs.
I like it.
Michael Crabtree and Emmanuel Sanders went next. That's kind of sad. I was hoping Michael Crabtree would be skipped, but he's gone. So we are back on the board. So guys, where do you want to go in the 5th?
I'm gonna make it. What's that?
Tyreek Hill.
That's that. Thank you, CJ. You and I right there together.
I mean, that wide receiver core is sick. Come on now. You gotta get him in there.
And with no Jeremy Maclin, he's going to get the lion's share of the targets. Yeah, man, put him in there. Tyreek Hill.
Flex.
Put him in the flex.
Put him in the flex. So are we going on the assumption that this is a league that gives us points for return yards as well?
Yeah.
For the sake of argument.
What other pass catchers are they going to have there? I mean, they have Travis Kelce.
Kelce.
And Tyreek Hill next. I mean, he's the guy. So, yeah, I say he's going to get lots of points.
And why am I blanking on the rookie's name? Jarkandrick West and...
he's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, yeah. Wrong name. I was thinking about guy who went to Green Bay. I'm dumb. So, all right, whatever.
Right.
And I'm outvoted, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So Tyreek Hill.
But before you click it, it does not make sense.
No, he did it.
I already did it. It does.
You just look at the upside on that, and then you see the lay of the land going down.
It doesn't not make sense. I'm just saying that, I'm not as high on him as you guys are, but I also haven't restatted him with Jeremy Maclin being gone yet, so I can't definitively weigh one way or another. So I'm going to concede it to you guys.
That's going to be substantial. That restatting.
It's tough because that's a lot of targets that are now gone. They're going to Jeremy Maclin, and we're not sure how the quarterback situation is going to play out. We all expect Alex Smith to keep the starting job this year, but it could. If things change, it could drastically affect the way things play out there. It's stuff to watch, and it's early on. It's the beginning of June, so we don't have all the answers yet. But let's keep to the draft. Jordan Reed went next, and it was Dalvin Cook, Andrew Luck, Julian Edelman, Stephon Diggs, Tevin Coleman, Mark Ingram, Bilal Powell, Greg Olsen, Dante Moncrief at the back of the 5th. Top of the 6th, we have Tyler Eifert, Brandon Marshall, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Martavis Bryant, Cam Newton, Eddie Lacy, Willie Snead, Russell Wilson, and Jamison Crowder. So, guys.
Did Andrew Luck go as the number 1 overall quarterback?
No, Aaron Rodgers went in the 2nd round.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers went inside. I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Andrew Luck, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson, and Cam Newton are all off the board.
Right. Okay, just checking.
So, guys, here we are. We have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. It is the 6th round, obviously a short turn. So, what do you guys want to do here? Amir Abdullah, I think, is one of the best pass-catching options because he does catch the ball a lot. I know they like Theo Riddick in that role, but Amir Abdullah is going to be in that offense a lot. That would give us a solid, starting depth to our running back position. I like him a lot better than a lot of the other available options all the way down the list for PPR formats. Actually, I say
you don't think we can get him. You don't think we can get him in the turn though?
I wouldn't risk it. I would say that he is definitely the best option here. In 6 rounds, good value for a starting running back. None of the wide receivers, there's only 2 picks before we pick again. None of these guys I'm dying to be we got to get him right this second. So
Deshaun Jackson's there. He's a good option.
Not in PPR, though. Deshaun Jackson's a boom-bust player.
Yeah, he's a home run hitter.
Yeah, Pierre Garçon more so because he's going to get all the targets in San Francisco. But
no.
I know you guys are not high on him. I don't get it. He's going to be the whole offense there. But regardless,
I missed it. Who'd you say?
Pierre Garçon. But I'm completely in on Amir Abdullah right here. I think he is hands down the pick we should take.
I'll take it. Amir Abdullah.
All right, Amir Abdullah. He is on our team. We're starting with some quality depth. Kyle Rudolph and Ben Roethlisberger off the board. So here we are, top of the 7th. No wide receivers left. So, guys, who do you guys want to get?
Corey Davis there.
Corey Davis?
Yeah.
Kelvin Benjamin I don't like. Eric Decker, we're not sure what role he's going to have, if he's even going to be on the team. Pierre Garçon I like. Cameron Meredith, he's hurt already. I could go Corey Davis here. I mean, this might be a little high for the rookie, but in a PPR, I think he's going to get a good volume. I could see that. Jason, what do you think?
I think people look. I know you've seen his tape, but he's going to be like really good, like disgustingly good. And you put him with Marcus Mariota, that's going to be a good marriage for Fanatics.
I would be concerned if he was one of our top 3 running wide receivers because he's a rookie and it's going to take some time for him to settle into the role. But given the fact we got Doug Baldwin, Allen Robinson, and Tyreek Hill as our top 3 guys, I'm okay taking a flyer on or taking a risk on Corey Davis. They say, yeah, sure, let's go for it.
I hate recording my screen because I can't bring up my reference point. I'm trying to remember exactly what Rashard Matthews did last year, but I think Corey Davis can probably match that pretty easily, and that landed Rashard Matthews as a top-tier fantasy wide receiver, standard PPR, however you like it. So, yeah, I'm all about Corey Davis, and I think this is good value, especially in the PPR. So, let's go for it. I think that's the first rookie wide receiver off the board in this draft. See, Jameis Winston, Jimmy Graham.
Dang it, Doug Martin.
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
That was what I was looking at, too.
Cameron Meredith.
Doug. I'm like, Doug.
Yeah, Delaney Walker, Latavius Murray, Derek Carr, Martellus Bennett, Pierre Garçon, Kelvin Benjamin, Matthew Stafford off the board. Top of the 8th, Samaje Perine, Doug Martin, Zach Ertz, Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson. Wow, 8th round. I mean, it is PPR, so that makes sense. Hunter Henry, LeGarrette Blount, Paul Perkins, Theo Riddick, and Danny Woodhead. So let's recap here really fast. We currently have 3 running backs and 4 wide receivers. It is the back of the 8th round. Guys, what are you feeling like we should do here? I like our depth. I think we have quality starting depth right here. We can back up a position, survive an injury. Obviously, we have more wide receiver depth, but this is a PPR league, so I'm not hating on that. Mike Gillislee is available. I do like that. I think he's going to be the starter there, but obviously they have a ton of running backs in New England, so we don't. Well,
who really knows?
No, I think he's going to be the main runner there, but they have a lot of guys who also are specialists in catching passes, so I'm not sure if he's the best PPR option. Wide receiver-wise, we got some guys who could be pretty high in-demand targets in their offenses. I mean, obviously, Eric Decker, if he comes back, he's going to be probably the number 1. He'll get a lot of targets, provided they don't cut him. And he will probably do well with Quincy Nunwall across the field from him. Deshaun Jackson, I'm not wild about in PPR, but, I mean, we're almost in the 9th round, so I could go for that. Corey Coleman, I mean, he could be getting a ton of volume in Cleveland now. Jordan Matthews, I'm not too wild about. He's going to be playing the slot, and there's a lot of options there. Kenny Britt, not same situation, but a lot of mouths in Cleveland. I can't even say that because Gary Barnes is gone now. Rashard Matthews, we already have Corey Davis. Randall Cobb working the slot. Devontae Parker, he could ascend. Not a lot of guys that I particularly love at this point outside of maybe Deshaun Jackson and maybe the upside of Eric Decker if he's able to come back.
Here's a question for you. How do you feel about CJ Prosise?
CJ Prosise, I'm not wild about. There have been a lot of reports coming out of Seattle saying that, he's definitely going to have a role carved out in this offense, provided he can stay healthy, stay the course, and really get the offense down. But bottom line, there's already Eddie Lacy and Thomas Rawls ahead of him on that depth chart. So I'm just...
Yeah, but CJ Prosise, Thomas Rawls is basically a backup Eddie Lacy. And CJ Prosise is going to be the pass catcher out of the backfield.
No, I agree.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, that was a point I made way back when they signed him. I agree with that statement, but I'm just not sure how much volume he's going to be able to get. I don't know. It's tough. Oh, Rob Kelly's still on the board.
So here's my problem. I don't like Corey Coleman because of the quarterback situation in Cleveland. I don't like Eric Decker because of the quarterback situation in New York. If I had to pick from this list of wide receivers I'm looking at, I'd probably go Jordan Matthews just because I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable with Carson Wentz than I am with whoever the heck they got throwing the ball in with the Jets and with Cleveland.
So here's my thinking. I think we can go 3 ways here. I do like Jason's argument with Jordan Matthews. He's going back to his natural position, playing in the slot. As he look at his numbers, he plays a lot better when there's other pieces around him versus being the guy. Another guy that I like, Adam Thielen. I like the numbers he put up with Sam Bradford last year. I see them to make that go going into the season, just seeing to do what they did from there. And then for tight end, I like the upside with Jack Doyle. As tight end.
Jack Doyle.
Jack Doyle. I have to look at our adjusted consensus rankings for tight end. Okay, well, let's put it this way. Jordan, I do like everything you've said about Jordan Matthews. That's true. We don't know about Eric Decker. That's a question mark, but it could be worth the risk in the 8th round.
I don't want no parts there.
I know. Frank Gore does catch passes, but they've got guys there that are younger and are probably going to be used in that way more often than he is. But, I mean, we're at the point where we're looking for not just upside, but also, not necessarily pure risk. So, I mean, it's not a terrible option. I know you guys like quarterback. I'm always going to say you can wait on tight end because there's plenty of guys we can get later, which I have rated higher than a lot of the guys who have even left. I've been drafted. So, you know what? I'll just throw it to you guys. I just want to point out a couple names that we currently have ranked higher than some of the guys we've even talked about. Higher than Jordan Matthews, we currently have Mike Williams. And obviously, we mentioned Deshaun Jackson. We have ranked higher than him. Those are the two main names that are jumping out to me.
Mike Williams, I feel like we can wait on, though.
We can wait on.
I know. I completely believe that we can.
I'm looking at it on the depth chart on your screen right there. He's the number 55th wide receiver. We can wait on him.
No, I completely agree. I'm just pointing some names out. So we could get Jeremy Maclin.
No.
Obviously, that's a joke.
I don't get people that don't have teams.
Yes. All right, but we got to move on. So, I'm just throwing it to you guys. What do you guys want to do? Tell me.
Jordan Matthews.
Jordan Matthews. Why not? All right, Jordan Matthews. He is on our team. Not necessarily my favorite thing, but none of us really. I don't think anyone was overly impressive at that point. And here we are back on the board again.
Hey, Kenneth Dixon, wide receivers. So
Kenneth Dixon and Corey Davis are gone. So here we are sitting. I have to say, just for depth at running back, we should probably pull the trigger on one of these guys. I mean, Mike Gillislee has a lot of upside. Frank Gore, he's been a tight end, a running back one the last couple of years, though that's more in standard. But I mean, he can do it. CJ Prosise is here. Robert Kelly's still available, which is impressive to me because CJ. No, I don't want him. I'm just saying that Samaje Perine.
He's their top option right now.
I'm hearing reports out of Washington, man. Even though they like Samaje Perine, it still is Rob Kelly's job to lose
for now.
Slim down. He's looking leaner. More lateral quickness, man. So I don't know. Maybe Slim Rob can hold on to the job, man. Can be able to do something. So that's not bad of a piece to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, but by a lot of accounts, they might also just move on from him because they were not overly impressed, and they have draft stock in Samaje Perine where he was an undrafted rookie. They can cut him for basically nothing. That's kind of the narrative. We don't really know how it's going to play out. We could go for shooting for the moon here and take Kareem Hunt. And if he ends up getting that starting job, that could be pretty substantial.
I was looking at that.
You think we can wait a little bit? You think we can wait for the next turn?
Well, this is our long run, so it's possible. I don't know if I think that he's going to be there. It's an upside play.
I don't want to force a running back pick either. I mean, if we're not in love with any of these guys, then we should look at a different position because none of these guys are screaming, "Hey, please draft me!" To me, to be honest. Frank Gore. I could pull the trigger on Frank Gore. I mean, he's not a big pass catching option, but he is going to score touchdowns.
Yep, he has a carved out role in that offense.
He's number one. He's the number one guy there.
I'm just stressing running back because we only have 3 and we're in the 9th round and it's going to be a long run before we get back. I have plenty of quarterbacks I like that we can wait on. I have a lot of tight ends. I think we're good at wide receiver for this point. So, I mean, my vote is running back.
I think Frank Gore for me.
I could go Kareem Hunt, take a flyer on him or go Marcus Mariota here.
Well, I'm definitely not looking at quarterback here. So I could go Kareem Hunt or Frank Gore. So I need one of you to cave one way or another because I'm the secondary vote on both of those. We're split.
I'll go with better off.
What
was it, CJ?
I'm going with a better offense. I'm going to go Kansas City.
Better offense. Get out of here. What do you? And you're sticking with Frank Gore? Jason?
My reasoning here is that Frank Gore is the number one guy in that offense. He's the number one running back. So, and Kareem Hunt, we don't know if he's going to be the number one guy because they got Spencer Ware there still. So, I'm more comfortable with Frank Gore.
Yep, and like you said, we're speculating on Kareem Hunt. He has to win the starting job. We know that Frank Gore is the starter in Indianapolis. So though the ceiling may be higher with Kareem Hunt when it's all said and done, the floor is much higher at this point with Frank Gore. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'll second it. Let's go with Frank Gore here in the 9th round. That's not bad when we're looking at our 4th running back. Let's see, Mike Gillislee did go next, who was a guy who I liked as well. CJ Prosise, Kareem Hunt did go. And then it was Robert Kelly, Jamal Charles, Matt Forte, Jonathan Stewart, Kenny Britt, Deshaun Jackson, Charles Sims. Top of the 10th, we have Devontae Parker, Jeremy Hill, James White, Randall Cobb, Eric Decker, Giovanni Bernard. The Broncos defense off the board in the 10th, so first defense.
Wow.
Mike Wallace for Baltimore, Duke Johnson, and John Brown. So guys, here we are in the 10th, back of the 10th. Where are we going now?
Next thing in the table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest with you, no. I was going to say Alvin Kamara because of the upside and the way they're going to use him. But the fact that Mark Ingram is still there bothers me. So I'm going to probably stay away from that. I guess Adam Thielen?
Yeah, I like Adam Thielen. Or let's tight end.
Well, no, I mean, if you guys want to and you're not liking anything that's here, this is PPR. If you guys have a tight end that you guys truly believe is going to get a higher volume than other guys available, it is what it is. And it's just, me personally, I wait, but I mean, you guys draft differently. And, tell me honestly, what do you guys want to do here? There's plenty of quarterbacks available. There's plenty of tight ends. There are running backs that have made it back to us. Jamal Williams could be the starting running back in Green Bay pretty early on, I'd imagine. I don't expect Ty Montgomery to hold that job. I mean, I just don't think he's durable enough. I think Jamal Williams is going to be that guy there. Maybe not a great PPR back, but I mean, we're talking about late 10th round at this point, so I think that could be great value, especially if he becomes the starter. At wide receiver, Adam Thielen, he might be the number one. I think Stephon Diggs is probably the true number one there, but Adam Thielen's going to get a lot of volume. Tyrell Williams, he's kind of buried in the depth chart now. Brashad Perriman's going to get an uptick in volume this year. This is his magical 3rd year, really his 2nd year healthy, but it's his 3rd year. Marvin Jones, we know, has a role in that offense. I mean, he started off really hot last year, and then he kind of tapered off as the rest of the offense picked up. Maybe he's more consistent. Kevin White. Yep.
What's that?
That's true.
Quincy Enunwa down there.
Quincy Enunwa is down there. Ted Ginn is now in New Orleans. Josh Doxson's going to have a big role in Washington. He's kind of buried. Mike Williams still available. Kevin White is going to have a bigger role, especially if Cameron Meredith ends up missing some time with his thumb injury. But by all accounts, he should be ready by training camp. I mean, there's a lot of options here. So, I mean, I don't know. You guys, you tell me. You know what my preference is to not go those positions. But if you guys want to, go for it. Tell me what you guys want to do. I'm throwing it to you.
Adam Thielen is screaming at me. I mean, I want to go Marcus Mariota here, but I'll stick to the PPR.
I'm all right with it. Adam Thielen's fine with me.
You can speak up and sound a little bit less mopey there, CJ. All right, Adam Thielen.
I don't like it.
When you get into this part of the draft, that's when you get mopey, because it's like, I don't like any of these guys.
All right, well, Adam Thielen, he is on our team now. So I think, even though this is a PPR, I think we are good on wide receiver. So obviously I didn't weigh in. I'll let you guys make that pick. That makes what, our 7th wide receiver? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6. 1, 2, 3.
6, yeah.
4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, we're done with wide receiver. I think we're good. All right, let's see. That was our long turnaround. Oh, no, it wasn't. That was our short turnaround. Ryan Matthews, Rashard Matthews went. So now here we are, top of the 11th. What do you guys want to do? Just to recap, we have 1 bench spot left. We still need a tight end, a quarterback, a defense, and a kicker. We have at running back Le'Veon Bell and Isaiah Crowell. We have Amir Abdullah. We have Frank Gore. So if we're going to add something...
We've still got a lot of good. There's a lot of good quarterbacks on the board for PC. And so I'm okay with waiting on that. Let me see the tight ends. I don't like any of those guys. I like the upside of. I don't like any of them. I like OJ Howard because I think he's going to get a lot of targets. But the fact that he's a rookie makes me kind of hesitant to take him as our number 1 tight end.
No, don't do it.
As opposed to someone like Jack Doyle, yeah, I would probably take him over Jack Doyle.
Why would you take a rookie tight end, which they're never productive, at least usually not for the 2nd or 3rd year. I'm not denying he's a better player, but he's also in a timeshare. There's no way he's going to be, safely you can predict that he'll outperform a number of these other guys. Just the stats and the trends are just not there to support it.
I'm pretty confident he's going to outperform most of the guys on this list. But, oh, man. I mean, Cameron Brate's there. I wish I could take him, but unfortunately with O.J. Howard being there, I don't think we can. I don't like any of these guys. None of them.
CJ, what are you looking at here?
What do you think, CJ?
I could take a flyer on Jamal Williams, like we're talking about Green Bay. I agree with you guys. Wait on quarterbacks. There's at least three guys there that I would like to have quarterbacks. On that. Tight ends. I do agree with Jason when it comes to O.J. Howard. That's him being a rookie. That's the only thing alarming. Because talent-wise, he's going to be a good piece for the Buccaneers. But when I look at Jack Doyle, I don't see an issue with picking Jack Doyle there. You saw he has chemistry with Andrew Luck from last year. And he's going to be the starting tight end. So there's no other competition behind him. So I just look at that.
I'm not a believer at all. Jack Doyle.
All right, so you guys are both pretty heavily looking at tight end here. I do like the upside of Jamal Williams. We don't have to get him. There's plenty of depth picks that we can get as well. We can come back to running back if you guys aren't loving that. If you guys really want to go tight end here, I can't stress.
Griffin, what do you want to do?
What else are you seeing in the running back? What else are you seeing in the running backs that's appealing to you?
I'm seeing Terrence West, who's available late that we can get probably with our last round. That's available.
He's only going to be good for 3 weeks.
Why would he only be good for like 3 weeks? He's the starting first and second down back in Baltimore.
He's only going to be used for 3 weeks. And then when Kenneth Dixon comes back, you guys going to be playing him.
That transition never happened last year when it was just the two of them. It was a pretty even split. So, I mean, hey, he starts off strong the first 3 weeks. His stock goes up, and then you trade him. Think about those dynamics. People who might not be up on all the stuff. If not, he's a depth running back. He's our fifth running back. I wish he was our sixth, but I mean, still, that's a depth move. That's not the end of the world. Jamal Williams, a lot of upside, obviously, like we said. I don't know. Look, all right, you guys.
What do you think, Griff?
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah, come on.
I said I'm throwing this
running
back
back only two. I don't believe your narrative when it comes to Kansas West and Baltimore. I think you guys you think too much when it comes to that position. You have the talent there, and Kenneth Dixon, he will be the guy. I mean, Terrence, you wouldn't have been re-signing him if it wasn't for Kenneth Dixon getting in trouble for the first 3 weeks.
I don't think anyone's going to be the guy there this year. I mean, this is my team. I'm monitoring it most closely, and that's why they brought in Danny Woodhead. Danny Woodhead and Kenneth Dixon are essentially the same player, and they're both going to be there. So I think this is going to be a huge committee once those 3 weeks are up. But Terrence West is the first second down back as of right now. I mean, if we want to talk about PPR, Mike Gillislee, if he ends up getting hurt, Rex Burkhead was a guy we were very high on before they signed him. He can do it all. He can run the ball. He's a good pass catcher. He could be a great option for a depth play, especially if someone gets hurt in New England or if he ends up becoming the starter. These are just running backs, and we can take our pick of any one of these guys later on. They'll probably all be available. Maybe Alvin Kamara ends up being the main guy in New Orleans when it's all said and done and the dust settles. They end up offloading Mark Ingram, and Adrian Peterson's just the red zone back. It's a lot of speculation at the beginning of June, but I mean, bottom line, I could really run with any of these guys as our last running back. I just cannot go with O.J. Howard at all. There is every single trend in the world that has shown rookie tight ends. It doesn't work. He's in a tight end committee. Does not work. Jameis Winston has not been that high volume, spread it out guy. Granted, he's got better weapons than ever, but that also means he's got a lot of people, a lot of mouths to feed.
You can't discount O.J. Howard out of hand. I mean, this is the best guy to come out of the draft at his position in a very, very long time.
That's fine.
And he's not in a committee. It's not a committee. You can run 2 tight end sets, so it's not a committee. There can be 2 tight ends on the field, which is something they're probably going to do. You don't have to convince us. We've already said him being a rookie is something that we're not happy with. So, I would say that the quarterback situation, I like Kirk Cousins, I like Marcus Mariota, and I like Phillip Rivers. Is any of that interesting to you guys?
CJ, what do you? Do you want to go quarterback here, CJ?
This is our quick turnaround, right?
No, wait, yes.
No, long turnaround.
Long
It's
term.
long term.
It's a long term. I mean, I just feel like all the guys that we're talking about are going to be there. I think after the turn, at least a good portion of them. We might as well take the best available player, and I think that's going to be one of those quarterbacks.
Okay, let's go Phillip Rivers. That's my vote.
Yeah. You want to go Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
All right, well.
Griffin, you all right with that?
I mean, I'm fine with Phillip Rivers in the 11th round. I would probably wait and see how it all plays out, but I mean, I'm not going to, fight it. It's not the end of the world taking a quarterback in the 11th. It's not necessarily my preference.
I like him better than I just like him better than any of the other options that we've been talking about, and he's rated higher anyway. So,
all right, well,
yeah,
then
I'm fine with Phillip Rivers.
I mean, it's 2 votes for it anyway, so it is done. So Phillip Rivers is on our team. Alvin Kamara did go next. Brashad Perriman, Darren Sproles, Thomas Rawls, Jeremy Maclin got signed, even though he doesn't have a team. Terrence West did go.
Jamal Williams still
there. The Chiefs' defense is gone. Kevin White gone. Mike Williams gone. Joe Williams gone. We're in the 12th now. Dak Prescott, the Texans' defense, Eric Ebron, Marlon Mack, Kirk Cousins, Cameron Brate, Marvin Jones, Quincy Enunwa, Jack Doyle, and Terrence Williams all off the board. So, here we are in our short turnaround. We are... Where are we going?
Well, Jamal Williams is still there.
He is still there. Late 12th.
Rex Burkhead is still there.
Yep.
Off the break, I like Jamal Williams' situation a lot better. I mean, at least he only has one guy to be concerned about. You talk about Rex Burkhead, he has 4 other guys to be concerned about. So I agree with that. I like that a lot better.
Jamal Williams is one of 3 rookies they brought in, but he was the highest drafted one.
I like that.
He's definitely the top guy that's competing with Ty Montgomery.
I'll say Jamal Williams for me.
All right, let's do it. We're going with a long shot up. That's not even a long shot. We're going with the upside speculation. Could be a great play as the season goes on because Ty Montgomery.
In the 12th round.
Yeah, in the 12th round. I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't think Ty Montgomery's ever played a full season, so I like the chances there. Tyrod Taylor, Christian Thompson went. We are back on the board, so we have our entire bench filled. I'm greatly preferring how we played out this week's draft. So where are we going? We need a tight end. We need a kicker, we need a defense, and then we are out of here. So let's scroll past those positions. We'll look at the 3 positions that we need, I should say. Let's do this quickly.
Seattle Seahawks are there. Justin Tucker's. I mean, all the kickers are still there. I like Seattle. I like Arizona. I like the Giants. I like Julius Thomas.
Yes.
I mean, he's new in a new place, but of all the players on the board here, he's the only one that's not rookie, and that's
Jesse James.
Good player. We can wait for Jesse James.
My 2 highest rated tight ends that are still available are Kobe Fleener and Julius Thomas.
God.
Yeah.
Jesse James.
No Kobe Fleener, but Julius Thomas is a possibility. I mean, we could wait on him.
It's our long term, but there's a decent chance. I mean, look, there's enough tight ends here that I like that we can probably get. I mean, we will get one of them. So do you guys want to get the top kicker available? Do you want to get a high-end defense? I mean, we can easily come back.
High-end defense.
So what are we doing? Votes right now. Off the top of your head. I want Justin
Arizona.
Tucker. All right. So we got 2 votes for Justin Tucker. We're getting the best kicker in football. Boom. Justin Tucker's on our team. Marcus Mariota, Deontay Foreman. It's scrolling too fast. Jalen Richard, O.J. Howard, Eli Manning, Seattle Seahawks defense. Dang it, Julius Thomas went. Deion Lewis, Rex Burkhead, Antonio Gates. Top of the 14th, the Cardinals went. Jason Witten, the Panthers, Josh Doxson, Jonathan Williams, the Vikings defense, Jaquiz Rogers, the New England Patriots defense, the Giants defense, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. So here we are. And we are
all the defenses.
We can get my Baltimore Ravens.
Dang it.
Which
I
think is easily the best defense available. Or we can get Kobe Fleener, CJ Fedorowicz, Zach Miller, or we can go for rookies, which I, again, would recommend against. Those are the highest rated ones. I like the upside of potentially Austin Hooper, but new offensive coordinator, don't know how that's going to play out. It's kind of a crapshoot beyond that. So we can get defense or tight end. Defense? Which one do you guys want? I'm voting Ravens.
CJ, do you want a defense? Or is there somebody who's screaming at you?
We've yet to get a tight end, right?
Correct.
We have yet to get a tight end.
We're at almost an hour, so we got to wrap this up quick, guys.
Why don't we go Jesse James here?
I mean,
I think we should pick a defense first, and then get Jesse James, because he's so far down the list. I don't think he's gonna go yet.
it's our short turn, by the way. So
Short turn.
Short turn. What about Oakland? Like Oakland's defense?
not as much as
I like
our
Oakland's
Ravens.
defense, but of course you like your Ravens better.
I can't believe I always have to contest this.
I gotta go Ravens, unfortunately. Ravens.
Yay! They were one of the top run defenses, and they did nothing but improve their
stop
secondary.
trying to convince us. They suck. Move on.
They do not, and you know it. The Rams
Moving
defense,
on.
Stephen
I
Hoshka
do
went.
know it.
So let's look. Who do we want at tight end? My vote is honestly Kobe Fleener, and if he
No.
ends up sucking, you
No
can
Kobe
stream the
Fleener.
position.
No Kobe Fleener.
All the upside in the world is there.
Who cares? He's been there. But he's not nothing.
He's been there for 1 year.
Let him do something, and then we'll bring him in. We'll stream him if we can. I don't know. Who do you like?
Talking to you,
Talking
CJ.
to me?
I said, I like Jesse James there. And I like I think well, you guys don't want to rookie.
Who are you looking at?
I was
looking at Njoku. Yeah.
I just don't like the quarterback situation there.
You could go. Well, I mean, you got to take into account and see how he actually flows in the offense with Jared Cook.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, at least you already know what's up with Jesse James. You saw what he can do. He stepped up. You know what's up.
I'm good with Jesse James. That's fine.
CJ, you say Jesse James as well?
Yeah.
All right, well, then I am outvoted. So, Jesse James, he is on our team, and our draft is done. Steven Gostkowski, Dan Bailey, Mason Crosby, so on and so on, a bunch of kickers. Hey, look, we got a C+. Hey! Dang, that must mean our team sucks. Well, I'm just saying, because we didn't get like a D, our team must suck, because that's the only way you know you did good, because, again, the worse your rating is, the better you did. All right, so, to recap, we have Phillip Rivers. This is our starting lineup. Phillip Rivers, Le'Veon Bell, Isaiah Crowell, Doug Baldwin, Allen Robinson, Jesse James at the tight end. In our flex, we have Tyreek Hill, Justin Tucker, and the Baltimore Ravens defense. On our bench, we have Amir Abdullah, we have Frank Gore, Jamal Williams, we have Corey Davis, Jordan Matthews, and Adam Thielen. So, guys,
I like our
how do
starters.
you like our team?
I really like our starters. I think our wide receiver core is beastly.
I like our team, honestly, as a whole. So I'm going to stop the recording now. So the recording will be available on YouTube. If you're listening right now, you're probably wondering, where can I see this? We'll also try and post some screenshots to the website. So, all right, that's going to do it for us today. Please make sure you guys tune in on Friday. We will be breaking down today's mock draft, all the things we learned, our hot takes, the trends, a lot of the stuff that we're taking away from this draft as we move forward. Again, please make sure you guys subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher and Podcast Addict, wherever. We are an independent podcast, and we are here every Tuesday and every Friday bringing you the information you need through the offseason and through the regular season as well. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/thefantasyfootballfanatics, on Twitter at the FF Fanatics, or you can follow us individually. I'm at GPalmerFFF, CJ is at CJHickman89, Jason is at JCabrera13, and as always, please support the show. If you guys really like this product, you want it to keep going, we need the help, head over to patreon.com/thefantasyfootballfanatics. And on the Patreon show this week, we're getting into our waiver wire tight end. So this, obviously, we just had a lot of debate over the tight end position here. If you really want to hear us yell it out between our consensus rankings, head over to patreon.com/thefantasyfootballfanatics. So, any parting thoughts before we sign off, guys?
Guys, appreciate all the love on YouTube, man. We saw the subscribers going up, and then the iTunes account. We appreciate all the love and the new members, man. Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, we are out of here. We will see you on Friday if we don't see you on the Patreon show. So, everyone, take care. We will see you then. Bye.
selector.